time for the big boss with the hot sauce. You see, that's me. I am the Geeter with the heater, being on the record. I play the single, rotten, bop, and chip. Once again, let me say greetings and salutations to the entire population of this here fantastic nation. My name is the Geeter, the big boss with the big hot sauce. And tonight, it's a salute to Motown. It's Gladys Knight and the Fabulous Pips. It's the fantastic Marvelettes. It's Marvin Gaye. But to kick things off right now, let's go back and pick up on the Spinners from Detroit and the Geeter Gold Dancers. Composition by a guy who really discovers the Spinners. His name is Harvey Fugler. Harvey Fugler used to be one of the great singers with the Moon Glows, but of course in the 60s, he's producing for Berry Gordy. And the Spinners in the 60s, a different sound than they have in the 70s, but in the 60s, boy, if you love the cha-cha, this is it. If you love the interviews, if you love the great guest stars, then you're going to love what you're going to see tonight. Talking about On the Air with yours truly, the Geeter, and coming up next, it's Gladys Knight.
On the Air with the Geeter.
What style? What class? I'll tell you what. How would you like to meet her? Let's say hello to Gladys Knight.
Hello.
Gladys, you look marvelous.
Well, thank you. That's fantastic. Oh, my goodness.
You really do look wonderful, though. Gladys, now I don't know if this is a rumor or if this is truth, but you got to answer it for our audience out there. Did you begin your professional career at the age of 7 years old? Is that true, singing on the Ted Mack Amateur Hour?
Yeah, it's really true that I was 7 years old when I did Ted Mack's original Amateur Hour.
Isn't that something? Whose idea, though, was it to team you with your brother Merle and your cousins to form Gladys Knight and the Pips?
My mom suggested that. Said, well, why don't you just form a little group that'll give you something to do? My mom believed in not having idle minds. Mm-hmm. So we did that. We said, that would be fun. And all the parents got together and said, okay. Then she started thinking about it. She said, well, you guys need somebody that can kind of get you into places around town. And her nephew, my cousin Pip, was sort of a man about town. Mm-hmm. And she called him up and she said, look, I want you to get these kids some jobs. He said, what you mean?
Yeah. I understand.
So anyway, he loved the idea. You know, he was just being hard to get along with. He loved the idea, and he started talking to some of his friends around town, the promoters that he knew, and he came up with a job for us at the YWCA. And that was our first professional date, actually, the Y.
The YWCA. Isn't that amazing? So now you get the name Gladys Knight and the Pips from your uncle, but you record in the early part of the 60s on the Fire and Fury and VJ label, but there's also legend that Berry Gordy first saw you, but refused the contract on you, and that's when you went to VJ and Fire and Fury. But then, 6 years later, he contacts your uncle, and he says, I want these kids under contract to Motown. How did that happen?
Well, you know, I'm not sure what changed Barry's mind, but the story that he gave us was that he was tired of us giving his acts problems on the road.
I can dig it. You were that good. Now, what kind of reaction do you have, though, now figuring, well, wait, this guy first passed us on the first time. Now he wants us?
I was against going to Motown. The Pips were for going to Motown because I felt with all of the things that we had learned and accomplished over the years, we would kind of get lost in that caste system over there.
And you're basically almost right, because for a brief period of time, you're not really making hit records at Motown until Norman Whitfield comes to you with a record called I Heard It Through the Grapevine. And I must tell the folks out there that originally the Isleys had that, Smokey Robinson had it, Marvin Gaye had it, but passed on it. But Gladys, you take the record. And how does it become the biggest song of your career up to that point at Motown?
We took the song and we took it on the road with us for about 2 months. We were touring at the time, and we used to sit in the halls because those kind of hotels we were staying in, room wasn't big enough for all of us to get in the hotel room. Okay, so we used to sit around and we played around with this song. We tore it apart. We put it back together until we felt it was right. And we took it back to Norman one afternoon. We were very excited about it because we felt we had hit it, all right? And Norman, when he heard it, he said, oh, man, said, this is it. This is it. So Smokey was in the studio, so we went upstairs and we kind of ushered Smokey out of the studio. And we went in and we recorded I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and it turned out to be the biggest selling record for the company that year.
Really an incredible version. Now, it's interesting, again, because I told our friends out here that Marvin had it and passed on it, but then a year later, he comes out with his version. What did you think of that version?
I loved his version, I really did, and I loved Marvin, so it didn't hurt too bad, except we had been working a whole lot of years to get that recording identity going, you know what I mean? Are getting down. Isn't it amazing that Gladys Knight has the hit before Marvin? If you remember Marvin's version, it was completely different, by the way, than Gladys Knight and Pip's version. But yet, it had that raw
excitement that we've come to know and expect from the folks from Motown.
Of the smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another, for the way we were. Oh, can it be that it was all so simple then? Oh, has time rewritten every line? And if we had the chance to do it all again, tell me, would we? Could we? Memories may be beautiful and yet it's too painful to remember. We simply choose to forget. So the laughter we will remember. Whenever we remember when we
I love the style of the song, the way she just puts it across. We're talking with Gladys Knight. Gladys, the guy responsible for changing your sound was Jim Weatherly. When did you meet him?
Actually, we met Jim during our Motown days, the very last ones. We were in the process of doing our last album for Motown. And I love country music.
Oh, yeah.
For their storytelling, you cannot beat them.
Absolutely.
And that is the first thing that I look at personally, is the lyric. What is the song saying? And then what melody is wrapped around it. So Jim and I fell in love right away.
He writes Neither One of Us for you, but it's interesting because when you recorded it, your contract with Motown had already expired, but yet you people, when you bought the record, you bought it on the Motown label. Why? How did that happen?
We weren't obligated to give them. Neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye legally. But we said, we're going to finish this album. We're going to leave you with a hit, all right? And that's what we did. We finished the album. We did Neither One of Us, and we turned the album over to Motown. And that was Neither One of Us Wants to Be the First to Say Goodbye. In the meantime, we were in the process of signing with Buddha Records, a new family that we had met that we eventually came to love, and that has been the most important company, in my opinion, in our recording history and in our career.
Yeah, because you see what happens now, Jim Weatherly at Buddha changes the style and the sound. And he writes for you an old country song, Midnight Plane to
Houston.
That's it. And you change it to Midnight Train to Georgia. It becomes the #1 song of the year on Buddha for you. And then after that, though, you go on a solo career. What made you decide to do that?
There's other things in life, so other plateaus you want to go to. So now we're doing our own things, and I want to stand on my own 2 feet.
If you have to pack it all in, my love, how would you, Gladys Knight, like to be remembered by the audience?
That overall, I was just a good human being. That's the way I'd like to be remembered.
Gladys, thank you for going back with the guitar, my love.
Well, we go way back.
Gladys, has been a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure, every minute.
I love you.
I love you too.
Gladys Knight, tremendous young lady. I'll tell you what, talking about Gladys Knight, let me let you hear, and you'll see the Geeter Gold Dancers dance to the last song she records for when she's with Motown. It's written by Barrett Strong, who's the first artist to give Berry Gordy a hit record with a song called Money. The name of the song is a song called Friendship Train. I present to you the Geeter Gold Dancers. When you talk about pure excitement, you know the secret of Motown was not only the artist, but the fact that Berry Gordy assembled for all of his artists the very best musicians he possibly could muster. And it's interesting because Norman Whitfield, who wrote this song, also, as you know, along with Barrett Strong, wrote I Heard It Through the Grapevine. But on your screen, as you watch on the air, you see the way our Geeter Gold Dancers do a little bit of a line dance to Gladys Knight, Friendship Train. Friendship Train, 1969. I'll tell you what, right now, let's go from the year 1969 and still stay with Motown, and let's go to the year 1962. It is the third record that Marvin Gaye records in his career. I present to you Marvin Gaye with Stubborn Kind of Fella.
Every time I reach for you, try to kiss you, you jump out of sight. And I got you. Don't you know I'm in with you? Yes, I'm struggling, kind of bad, got my mind made up to
Debbie Hoyer lost 20.
After the storm, when I'm cold, you make me warm, and I love it so true. Yes, I do.
I hope at home you're doing a little bit of the cha-cha-cha. You know that Holland Dozier and Holland produced all of the hit records that the Supremes recorded. Also, they produced the Four Tops, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. When you talk about dance guys, Holland Dozier and Holland were the very, very best.
So lovely day and night, and things will be all
Yes, I do. I'll tell you, I hope you enjoyed the show. In my opinion, an excellent show. But then again, what about you, huh? Did you like it? Well, why don't you join me again next week, huh? Same time, same place. And when you talk about the music of the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, and the stars, you talk about On the Air with yours truly, the Geeter. So I gotta go. Until we do it again, remember, at all times, you keep on rocking, because you really only rock once. Goodbye, y'all. Correct. Time for the big boss with the hot sauce. You see, that's me. I am the Geeter with the heater, being on the record. Up with a single, button, button, chip, Once again, let me say greetings and salutations to the entire population of this here fantastic nation. I am the Geeter. I'm the big boss with the big hot sauce, and you're on the air with Dion and the Belmonts, Gary Puckett in the Union Gap, the fantastic Caprice. But to kick things off, if you want to dance, let's go back to 1966. A group out of Detroit called the Fantastic Capitals do a song called The Cool Jerk. Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it? I'll tell you what. I bet you if you keep on watching the Geeter Gold dances in the show, you're going to learn how to do it. Cool Jerk, the Capitals. Everybody dancing here on the air with yours truly, the Geeter. Actually, it's the only time that these guys hit pay dirt with the top 10 record. We don't want you to go away. I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, taking you to 1959, and you'll see Dion and the Belmonts. Come on, people. Next day I feel so sad. I guess I'll learn to take one the good with the bad. 'Cause each night I have the stars above. Why must I be a teenager in love? Freddie, Carlo, Angelo, and my buddy Dion DiMucci, the name, A Teenager in Love. That's 1956, and you're back with yours truly, the Geeter. From 1956, let's now travel to the year 1967. Gary Puckett and the Union Gap with the Geeter Gold Dancers dancing to Woman, Woman. Something's wrong eyes meet mine. And lately when I love you, I know you're not satisfied. Have you got cheating on your mind? I've seen the way men look at you when they think I don't see, and it hurts to have them think that you're that kind. But it's knowing that you're looking back that's really killing me. Woman, have you got cheating on your mind? The song is written by Jerry Fuller, a tremendous songwriter and also a great producer, did some wonderful things with Ricky Nelson. Woman wears a certain look when she is on the move, and the man can't always tell what's on her mind. I hate to have to say it, but that looks all over you. Have you got 1967. Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, the first time that they go up at bat and they have a top 10 record. As a matter of fact, it's number one in 1967. Woman, Woman, Woman. Tell what I would like to do right now. Would you like to meet Gary Puckett? Let's go to my Geeter Phonovision.
It's the Geeter with the eater. What the heck are you doing? The boss with the hot sauce is calling me Gary Puckett. What's the deal?
Well, I had to just find out, Gary. I mean, where do you get a name like the Union Gap? I mean, is it something from the Civil War?
Well, I did take it from the Civil War. I just figured we got to do something to be a little different than most of those groups out there. You know, I mean, the 60s was a time that anything was accepted, I think, and I thought, well, what the heck? The band fell apart. They laughed for 3 days.
A very unique name, though, really, very unique. You're one of the few groups that were very big in San Diego, your own hometown. But for a brief period of time, you got very annoyed about the fact that you really could not get a record contract. But then all of a sudden, you get hooked up with one of the major record companies in the industry, Columbia Records. How's that happen?
I was really kind of looking to get out of town. I mean, out of San Diego. I wanted to make some records. I wanted to do something with life. I didn't want to work in nightclubs all my life. And so I put together a portfolio with a band. I mean, it had pictures, it had songs, it had a demo of the band actually that I was in before the Union Gap, but it was me singing. So I went around looking at all the records. I went to everybody, including Art LeBeau, who was then into oldies. And finally, on the way out of town, I saw CBS on the side of this building, and I said, stop the car, guys, right here, leave the key on, I'll probably be right back. I went inside, and they said, walk down the hall and take a left, and I did. And that's where Jerry Fuller was. So I showed him the portfolio, and he just loved it. He came down to San Diego to see us, and so he's given credit for discovering me when I actually found him. But
well, I'll tell you something. Jerry Fuller was probably one of the well-known producers from the West Coast in those days. Have many people said to you that you sound like Johnny Mathis?
Yeah, that and David Clayton Thomas, and sometimes even a little bit of Tom Jones and Engelbert Humperdinck. But I never really saw the distinctions. I mean, I think we all have voices that are somewhat distinct from each other, and yet they're in the same genre, I think. And I think they're nice comparisons, actually.
Yeah. No, excellent sound. As a matter of fact, I got to relate a story to you. I was in New York City in 1967 at Madison Square Garden when you appeared on your first major rock and roll show. And the performers on that show...
Junior Walker, the devil with the blue dress guy. Why is his name slipping my mind? Mitch Ryder. Sorry, Mitch, I didn't mean to do that. Who else was on? Oh, Wilson Pickett. It was a real R&B kind of show, and I remember being booed for a total of 15 minutes because they didn't want to see Gary Puckett and Union Gap. But we only had one hit record at that point, and I don't think they really cared. They wanted the stars of the show. I remember that about the East Coast. It was a big deal to me.
Well, you know, it was a soul show, you know, all black performers, I remember. And one of the things is that, you know, before people saw you, when they first heard you, they thought that you were a black performer.
Really? Yeah, they also thought that I weighed 250 pounds and, you know, was a big guy, which I'm just a big guy on the inside, you know what I mean?
Do you still live in San Diego, Gary, now?
Yeah. I was in L.A. for a couple of periods, totaling about 10 years, I guess, but finally I could not take it anymore, so back to the smaller town mentality.
Did you always want a career, though, in show business?
Not really. I was a pretty unassuming sort. Besides, I was always taught that I should grow up to be something important, like a doctor or a lawyer or something like that.
Any regrets?
Essentially, no. I regret that I didn't study music harder, or that I didn't write harder, or that I didn't, you know, approach certain people at a certain time with more fervor, or things like that, you know. But those are all, you know, hindsight is 20/20 kind of thing.
Well, I'll tell you, pal, in the short time that you have been in this industry, in comparison to the other guys that have been around since the 50s, you certainly have created a sound which is very unique and is strictly Gary Puckett.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that, Jeff. I'm a real lucky guy. I'm fortunate to be blessed with this talent. God gave it to me. It belongs to him. I take no credit. I just try to use it, you know, the best I can. And I'm not trying to be noble or religious or anything like that. That's what it is, you know, for me. And I feel very lucky to have recorded all those songs, which became classic records. And I just thank the Lord.
Classic stuff. GP, thank you for sharing, my man.
My man, the geeter with the heater, the boss with the hot sauce. Bye, Jerry.
This girl tasted love, as gentle as the morning dawn. She cried a single tear, a teardrop that was sweet and warm. Our hearts told us we were right, and on that sweet velvet night, a child had died, a woman had been born. This girl is a woman now, she's not gonna give. This girl is a woman now, she's found out what it's all about, and she's learning to This girl is a woman now, she's learned how to give. This girl is a woman now, she's found out what it's all about, and she's learning to. Tonight, whoa, 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 ooh. Let's go strolling. There's a girl in my heart, whoa, 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 ooh, whose heart I've stolen. There's a moon out tonight. Let's go strolling through the park. There's a glow in my heart, whoa, 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 ooh, I never felt before.
1958, and it was not a hit. Top 10 until 1960. In 1967, though, Sam and Dave, with that Memphis sound, record a song that is written by Isaac Hayes. It is their second release with the Stax label. It's called Soul Man.
Coming to you on a dust roll.
Sam and Dave record 13 records on the Stax label, but only 2 of them will go top 10. I'm a soul man, and I thank you. The rest go top 100, but these are the only 2 that are top 10. I repeat, Soul Man, number 9. I Want to Thank You becomes the number 8 song right after this.
Come experience the Aztec.
And you're back with yours true to the Geeter. In 1964, guess what? Smokey Robinson goes into the studio in Detroit with his favorite group, and he produces a song which is legendary. Our Geeter Gold dancers now show you how they dance to Girl, Why Do You Want to Make Me Blue? Even though Smokey doesn't write it, he produces it. And it becomes a top 20 record of the year 1964. Guess what? As all good things must come to an end, so must this show. But I gotta thank my pal Gary Puckett, and what a great film piece on the Capris, and of course, indeed, Dion and the Belmonts. But I gotta thank you folks out there for making it happen. Because as I say, without you, it would not be on the air with yours truly, the Geeter and the Geeter Gold Dancers. Until we do it again, this is the Big Boss with the Big Hot Sauce, yours truly, Jerry Blavat, with a reminder. Remember, at all times, you keep on rocking, because you're gonna find out in life, truly, you only rock once.
On the air with...
And in a little while, you're going to watch as some of my friends here talk with our psychics. But for you at home...
Living in the 50s, you know we're so cool. We wear leather jackets when we go to school. We all meet at the mall shop at 2:45 and listen to the jig play, You Belong to Me. We'll hang out with some chicks and they are out of sight. We always end up dancing in the still of the night. We form a long line so we can do the stroll. We all...
Solid Gold Saturday Night continues with the Geeter with the Heater, Jerry Blavat, next on Nostalgia Television.
Once in your lifetime comes the magic of truly great music. For the first time ever, Time Life Music brings you Piano by Candlelight. Loved by millions around the world, these are the greatest romantic melodies of our time. Piano by Candlelight. Lush, unforgettable music. Your favorite songs from Broadway. Award-winning Hollywood hits. Plus today's most popular melodies. Piano by Candlelight has received gold and platinum awards, and now you can own this magnificent collection yourself. 40 of today's most memorable and relaxing hits. More than 2 full hours of fabulous music on 3 cassettes for only $19.99, or 2 compact discs for just $24.99.
To order Piano by Candlelight, use your credit card and call 1-800-638-1954. That's 1-800-638-1954. Or send $19.99 for 3 cassettes or $24.99 for 2 compact discs, plus $4 shipping and handling to Piano by Candlelight, P.O. Box 11066, Department 80, Chicago, Illinois, 60611.
According to the big tick-tock on the tower clock, correct time for the big boss with the You see, that's me. I am the Gita with the heater, being on the record. Up with a single, rock and bop and chip boom. Once again, let me say greetings and salutations to the entire population of this here fantastic nation. I'm the Gator, the big boss with the big hot sauce, and you're on the air with Ray Charles. Plus a special salute to a man that is legendary. I'm talking about Billy Joel, but to kick things off right now, what I've got to do is take you back to the 70s. And in the 70s from Philadelphia with the Gator Gold Dancers, it is the fantastic OJs. The OJs have been singing since 1963, but it is not until the 70s that they hit pay dirt when they hook up with a couple of guys from Philadelphia. Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, they put them on the Philly International label, and the rest is musical joy. What a great way to start a show, Love Train, and that's exactly what it's got to be. This show that you're about to see has got to be exceptional. A man by the name of Billy Joel, he's going to be with us. And when we leave, we're just leaving you momentarily, because when I come back, you're going to see the Gator Gold Dancers do a little line dance to a song called Soul City Walk.
On the Air with the Gator, brought to you by The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Some home equity lenders tease you with low introductory rates. Not the Money Store. Right now, we're offering qualified homeowners fixed-rate home equity loans as low as 7.5%. That means after 90 days, your low rate would be 7.5%. And after 2 years, just 7.5%. The Money Store guarantees your low fixed rate will never go up. Apply right now. 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
George Jones, country music's living legend. Now, George's story is finally told his way in the authorized home video biography, Same Old Me. Join George and his special guests for a journey through 35 years of classic George Jones music. From the early honky-tonk years to the top of the charts. From superstardom and heartache to the legendary status and personal battles that almost cost him his life. Meet the man behind the music in George Jones' Same Old Me. His story told his way, featuring 20 classic performances. George Jones is the living legend, country music's greatest living singer.
To order by credit card, call 1-800-633-1700 or mail $24.95 plus $4 shipping and handling to George Jones Video, Box 384, Brentwood, Tennessee 37024. Call now, 1-800-633-1700.
Soul City Walk, you're back with yours to the Geeter. In the background, it's Archie Bell along with the Drells. They are out of Texas. In Philadelphia, Kenny Gamble along with Leon Huff, they put them under contract with Philly International, and they start their career. At the beginning, they were recording for Atlantic, but in Philadelphia, they have a great successful story with this song called Soul City Walk.
In Washington, D.C., and it's spreading all over the land. And it won't be too very long before everybody's clapping their hands, doing the Soul City Walk, yeah, yeah. Doing that Soul City Walk, y'all, yeah. Soul City Walk. Soul City Walk. Soul City Walk. Doing the Soul City Walk, yeah, yeah. Doing that Soul City Walk, y'all. All you have to do is walk a big long line. Just make sure that you're on time. Moving to the left, moving to the right. And just make out of sight. Doing the Soul City Walk, yeah, yeah. Soul City Walk, y'all. Come on. Soul City Walk. Soul City Walk.
Yeah, you see how easy it is? All you got to do is keep on watching the show and we'll teach you all these dances. You go to the right, you go to the left, you move a step back, and you move a step forward. Interesting because Archie Bell out of Houston, Texas, originally recorded on Atlantic. Mediocre success, but it was not until Kenny Gamble and Philly International put him on the map with great music like this.
You don't need no partner. You can do it all by yourself. If you want to really, really party, with everybody else, doing that Soul City Walk, y'all, yeah. Soul City Walk. Come on.
Yeah, I promise you'll get it. You really will. Just keep on watching. It's really interesting because when you talk about Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, you talk about a couple of producers out of Philly who came out of the era in the 60s, and they were writing songs even back in the 50s, and they became very, very successful. And when you talk about success, the gentleman that I'm about to introduce you to is a man that began in the 60s. And when you talk about a superstar, let me go to my Geeter Phonovision and introduce you to Mr. Billy Joel.
Hey, Geeter.
How are you, pal? You look terrific, Bill. My producer, John, and our director, Jay, told me that I go back with you. I didn't realize it. Back to the 60s when you were with the group called the Hassles.
I think we go back even further to the Echoes.
Oh, wow, the Echoes. I remember that group. Bill, is it true that at the beginning you took up, you were going to take up boxing?
Yeah, I didn't necessarily think I was going to have a long career as a boxer. I boxed amateur for 3 years, and I had a good run. I was a champion of a welterweight class for a year. But I was taking piano lessons at the time. Any thought I had of going into boxing as a profession was pretty well diminished when I met some pro boxers who had, you know, the cauliflower ear. And I mean, this is why my nose looks like this. I realized it wasn't a very good future in boxing.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about the music, Bill. The ideas, where do they come from for your wonderful music?
Sometimes I make music up because I want to hear it on the radio. Sometimes I listen to the radio, I go, I'm not hearing anything I like. Then I go home and write something that I like to hear. It's a strange way of writing. Maybe it's a strange approach, but
it works.
Yeah, that's what I do.
But the lyrics, are you inspired by certain things to come up with those great lyrics?
Life is the inspiration. I mean, you don't have to look too far. If you turn off your TV set, go out of your house and take a look around. I mean, there's plenty of things to write about. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of good musical ideas I get just from life, just from living, and from not always from me. It's from watching other people. It's from friends and family, There's plenty of inspiration out there.
A great lyric like It's Only Rock and Roll to Me, the song. After you write, in my opinion, a masterpiece like that, what does it do to you mentally and physically?
It's almost like giving birth. It's not physically the same, but I can identify with a postpartum depression that a woman would have after giving birth to a child. You pull these things out of yourself, and it's like tearing a little piece of yourself off and giving it away to the world. Then it goes on to have its own life.
But does it drain you mentally like that?
I am drained after I do that, yeah. It's a very wrenching experience, and you need time to recover from it, too.
It's still rock and roll to me. Hit in the 70s. 60s feel. Where did you come up with that idea?
There was a movement in music during the late 70s, punk and new wave, and I thought it was really healthy, that the music business kind of needed a return to the basics. It had kind of forgotten where it came from, and punk and new wave kind of kicked its butt. But it was kind of taken by some people to be different than anything else that had ever happened before. And my comment on it was, okay, call it whatever you want, next wave, new wave, dance craze. It's still rock and roll. Let's not forget what this is. This is not a new religion. This is nothing new. It's a hybrid, but it's still rock and roll.
Mm-hmm. The album Innocent Man, which I think is a wonderful album. Again, the feel from the old groups, the Drifters and the performers like James Brown. Where does that come from?
I did a track for a Rodney Dangerfield movie called Easy Money. And I did it like a Wilson Pickett, James Brown rhythm track. And it was so much fun that I did another song from that genre. I wrote another song called An Innocent Man, which was sort of like a Drifters tune. Now I was into this role. I was having so much fun writing this stuff. When a writer gets into a role, you don't question it. You have to go with it. And one song spun out another song, and it spun out another song. And I was kind of going back, reliving the era of that great R&B time. All those great records by Wilson Pickett and Jackie Wilson, and even the Supremes. I was just writing songs. I was having a great time in my life. I was going out with Christy, and I was newly single again, and I was an innocent man again, and that's why I wrote those songs.
I tell you, it was wonderful. It really was. The longest time, did you do all of the parts of that yourself when you were in the studio?
I sang all the parts on that, yes. We tried to get other people to sing on it. We had the Persuasions in. We had a group in from New Jersey called Charm, a cappella group, bunch of young guys, good singers. Didn't work. And Phil Ramone turned to me and said, you're gonna have to do all the parts. I said, I don't want it all to sound like one guy. And what I did was I adopted this way of singing called method singing. When I was doing the bass part, I made believe I was this skinny Italian guy from Newark. And then I did the high part. I made believe I was a black kid from Brooklyn. I took on like an actor's persona, I guess. I call it method singing.
Yeah.
And I did all the parts like that, and it managed to work. But when I conceived of the song, I really thought of it as the kind of songs that I used to sing outside of my high school with my friends. We used to sing
Street Corner Harmony.
Little Anthony and the Imperials, the Del Vikings.
Right.
Who did the Silhouettes? Who was the
Rays?
The Rays. So you know all this stuff. Yeah. Half the time I didn't know who these bands were, these groups were, but we knew all the songs, and it was fun to get other kids who would sing harmony. And if you found a good echo area, sometimes it'd be under the parking field at Jones Beach, or in the locker room, in the boys' locker room. Nothing sounded like that. Still to this day, some of the best music that's made is music that's never heard.
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting, and Ray Charles, who I love and you love, that had to be, when you want to go into the studio to work with Daddy Ray. Tell me about that, pal.
That was scary, actually. It was very thrilling and very scary, because he walks in the studio And he looks just like Ray Charles. There's no mistaking, that's Ray Charles. He's got the shades, he's got the walk, he's got the talk. There he is, it's Ray. And I realized at that moment, I'm really gonna do this now. Before it was just a concept, now it was a reality. And it was scary, but one of the highlights of my recording career.
She comes through. She's the only one who can. My baby grand is all I need.
On the Air with the Geeter, brought to you by The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Some home equity lenders tease you with low introductory rates. Not the Money Store. Right now, we're offering qualified homeowners fixed-rate home equity loans as low as 7.5%. That means after 90 days, your low rate would be 7.5%. And after 2 years, just 7.5%. The Money Store guarantees your low fixed rate will never go up. Apply right now. 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
The Bellamy Brothers, best of the best. Now available in this exclusive TV offer on deluxe double-link CD or audio cassette. 21 of the best from the duo who scored more hits than any other twosome in country music.
He's an old hippie and he don't know what to do.
Hello, we're the Bellamy Brothers.
And we've digitally re-recorded our 20 greatest hits just for you.
Redneck girl likes to cruise in daddy's pickup truck.
Call now for the Bellamy Brothers, best of the best. Their 21 all-time greatest hits.
Call 1-800-322-5800 or mail $19.95 for CD, $12.95 for cassette, plus $4 shipping and handling to Bellamy Brothers, Box 384, Brentwood, Tennessee 37024.
Featuring the smash hit, Cowboy Beat.
He says, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes.
Billy Joel, without a doubt, a superstar. And we're talking with him on the Geeter phone. Bill, did you ever plan all of the success when you were growing up singing on a street corner?
I didn't really plan to become a rock and roll star. I didn't plan to become a celebrity.
Well, what did you want to do?
I wanted to create music. I always was enchanted by music when I was a child, and I knew I was going to do something with music when I got older, whether it was write it or play it or even to perform it. I wasn't sure what form it was going to take. It ended up being this form, and I think this is only a stage. I think I'm going to do something else with music, too.
Why do you feel like that?
Because you have to have goals, you have to have dreams, or else you're just going to hang it up. There's a lot of different kinds of music I want to do, so I haven't realized all of my dreams yet. In some ways, it's gone way beyond what I ever dreamt was possible, but I have other musical dreams, too, that I want to accomplish.
Would you like to write other types of music?
I like a lot of classical music, so I might want to write symphonic music. I might want to write music that has just an instrumental form, music that is for other people to sing. I don't want to necessarily just have to write music for Billy Joel. I'd like to write music for other people, other performers, other singers. I'd like to write music for women to sing. I'd like to write music maybe for Broadway or for the movies. I don't know.
When is Billy Joel happiest? Performing or at home with Christy and your daughter?
At this point in my life, I'm at my happiest when I'm with my family. My family's very important. I'm becoming all the cliches that I didn't want to become when I was a teenager, when I was a younger man. I'd see people talking about their kids and their wives. Oh, man, this is so boring. And you know what? That's what happens. You find out that those are the things that are very important to you. The people that you trust the most are your family, the ones you love and the ones that love you the most. It all comes out of love, and that's what creates the happiness for me. It's my family, my wife and my daughter.
No question about that, and it shows in your performance. In your own words, why is Billy Joel successful?
This is my theory. I think I've had success because I worked very, very hard at performing. And then we went out on the road. This was before videos, before well, a lot of the image was visual. You had to go out and prove yourself on stage.
You had to work.
If people didn't like you found out real quick. And you didn't make it. You didn't make the cut. So that probably had a lot to do with it. Maybe the fact that I didn't set out to be a rock and roll star. I set out to create music because I loved music. It has nothing to do with my image or being a celebrity or being famous, really, or being rich. It had to do with making music, and I wanted to make really good music because my heroes are the Beatles and Bach and Beethoven and Mozart and George Gershwin and, you know, all the way back, you know, Ray Charles. You know, we were really good, substantial musicians, and that's what I wanted to live up to. So maybe that had something to do with it. But beyond that, why Billy Joel is successful, I don't have a clue. I don't want to know. Because if I knew, there would be a temptation to always try to repeat that formula. And the last thing I want to be is a formula artist. I don't want to repeat myself. I always want to do something different and find out what I can do.
That's terrific. One last question, my pal. The high point in a career that spans all these years.
Russia would have to be the high point of my performing career. I played Yankee Stadium. I played in Berlin the night of the reunification of Germany. I played in the Philippines for the airmen and the United States Navy the night that the Gulf War broke out. We played for the soldiers. That was a thrill. But playing in the Soviet Union, when it was the Soviet Union in '87, this was before everything was copacetic between us. It was still the evil empire, and they were the bad guys, and communism was still a menace. It was a thrill to play there. I didn't know how it was going to go. It was a real risk. It was a very expensive proposition. It was all out of pocket. And I don't think anything can top that.
Yeah. Billy, you know I love you, pal. And it's always a pleasure. God bless you. And thank you, boss.
Thanks, Jerry.
My man, Billy Joel. Good cat. Hey, let's go back now to the 70s. 1972.
I don't love you anymore.
Yeah, the young man by the name of Teddy Pendergrass begins his career with a group called Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. But it is not until the latter part of the 70s that this young guy goes on his own and becomes a gigantic star. I present to you, hey, Teddy, I don't love you anymore. That's not true, though. I do love you.
No,
Debbie Hoya lost 25 pounds fast. Tamara Kunz lost 35 pounds fast. Now you too can lose weight fast with the help of this new powerful Formula Trim 3000 diet pill. Formula Trim's new fat-burning plan is so powerful, you can burn more body fat relaxing all day than running 10 miles non-stop. Lorette Morello burned away 17 pounds.
I went from a size 13 to a size 5.
Adam Locust lost 36 pounds, carving 7 inches from his waist. Claire Contavi lost 52 pounds, trimming from a size 14 to a size 6. This powerful doctor-approved diet pill formula is medically proven to work. The new Formula Trim fat-burning plan is so powerful you can burn more body fat relaxing all day than sweating through 5 exhausting hours of aerobics. Terry Nigelson burned away 15 pounds. Joanne Venura lost 32 pounds. And Annette Barton lost an incredible and amazing 59 pounds. Now you can burn away fat and lose weight fast by calling 1-800-247-5151 for your powerful new Formula Trim 3000 for only $9.95. We accept personal check and credit card orders by phone. Call 1-800-247-5151 now to order your 3-week supply for only $9.95. Call right now and receive your Swedish cellulite cream absolutely free. Your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed. Remember, have your checkbook or credit card ready when calling. That's 1-800-247-5151. Call now.
I'm off my feet and I need help.
I'm a doctor. You just lie still.
You're Dr. Ben Casey, and you're on Nostalgia Television 5 nights a week.
Yeah. Right here.
You know, I think I'm feeling better.
You fall down again, Mister, you might not get up.
Oh, leave me alone. I really am feeling much better.
No, I won't let you alone.
But will I be all right?
I can't honestly say.
Watch Ben Casey weeknights at 11 p.m. only on Nostalgia Television.
As all good things must come to an end, so must this show. I got to thank my main man, Billy Joel, and how about that piece on Ray Charles? Got to thank the Geeter Gold dancers, and of course also you out there for making it happen. Remember, next week again, you're on the air with yours truly, the Geeter, the big boss with the big hot sauce. But until we do it again, remember, at all times, you keep on rocking, because you see, you only really rock once.
Solid Saturday Night continues with Dancing to the Oldies and your host, Nina Blackwood, next on Nostalgia Television.
In the pages of National Geographic magazine. For only $21 a year, all the wonders of our world unfold before you in breathtaking photographs and stories. No other magazine captures life in such dazzling color. Join the society, and every month you'll enjoy award-winning photographs that celebrate life's wonders and open your eyes to the remarkable diversity of our world. Whether you're trekking across Africa or racing to adventure, National Geographic takes you far beyond ordinary reporting for extraordinary behind-the-scenes stories, stories you won't find anywhere else. Throughout the year, you'll also receive up to 6 valuable reference maps that chart yesterday's world and today's with uncompromising accuracy. As a society member, you'll help support important scientific research, like Jane Goodall's 30-year study of chimpanzees. National Geographic, award-winning photographs you'll never forget, captivating articles that take you along each step of the way, and outstanding maps that expand your knowledge of the world. National Geographic promises you the best and nothing less.
To join, call 1-800-637-6300 now. You can even charge your membership or send $21, $37.50 in Canada, to the National Geographic Society. National Geographic makes a great gift that lasts all year long. So call now, 1-800-637-6300. That's 1-800-637-6300.
Welcome
welcome to Dancing to the Oldies. I'm Nina Blackwood, and today we're going to be singing and dancing and hopping and bopping to the greatest music of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. We're also going to be playing our musical matchup trivia game, and some of our dancers will even get a chance to sing live on stage to their favorite oldies, plus performing two of her biggest hits, Pink Shoelaces and No. Our special in-studio guest, Dodie Stevens. Have a hand for Dodie. But right now, to kick things off, this was a #1 hit in 1965. In fact, it spent 6 weeks on the top of the charts. And after it did that, the Supremes made the ultimate crossover by playing America's biggest venue at the time, New York City's Copacabana. Get ready to dance to the Supremes and Back in My Arms Again. Woo!
Willing to learn. In this half hour, I've been able to show you a few steps for building wealth without risk, but we just looked at the tip of the iceberg. Your next step is to participate in one of the Givens Organization workshops that are coming up in the next few days. If I've been able to open your eyes, the workshop will open your mind to the endless positive possibilities for gaining control of your financial future. I promise you, no matter what your background, your job, your education, or your income, you can learn to take control. A truly wise person is one who has learned to learn from the knowledge, errors, and experience of others, so they don't need to repeat all of the mistakes themselves. Don't miss this workshop. Change your plans if you have to. Get a babysitter. Bring your spouse and anybody else you want to share the workshop with. The workshop will give you all the rules and tools for winning with the strategies we've discussed in this program, plus a dozen new powerful ideas that you can use to make 1992 your best year ever.
Remember, that's Tuesday at 3 and at 7 p.m. at the Hyatt Cherry Hill. Wednesday in Allentown at 3 and at 7 p.m. at the Radisson Hotel America Center. Thursday in Wyomissing at 7 p.m. at the Sheraton Berkshire. On Friday at 3 and at 7 p.m. at the Philadelphia Court Hotel, formerly the Hilton. On Saturday in Langhorne at 1 p.m. at the Sheraton Bucks County Hotel. And on Sunday in King of Prussia at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. at the Valley Forge Hilton. Spend an exciting and inspiring 2 hours with the Charles J. Givens Organization.
The time for this program has been paid for by the Charles Givens Foundation.
This winter, hundreds of older citizens will be victims of abuse. And it won't come from the streets, their friends, or their relatives. Instead, they'll find themselves victims of the cold. If you or someone you know needs financial help with heating bills, call the Energy Assistance Program, because the only thing we want to turn off this winter is the cold.
It's two girls and you. Now the ultimate fantasy comes true right on your telephone. Two girls and you. It's what you've always wanted, so call right now. 2 girls make you happy. 2 girls drive you wild. 2 girls are the greatest. 2 girls make you dial. Call now. Call now. 2 girls. 2 girls. 2 girls and you. Just $2.95 a minute. Adults over 18 only.
This is Philly 57, WGBS TV, Philadelphia. On the Air with the Geeter is brought to you in part by The Money Store.
According to the big tick-tock on the tower clock, correct time for the big boss with the hot sauce. You see, that's me. I am the Geeter with the heater, being on the record. Up with a single, bop and chip down. Once again, let me say greetings and salutations to the entire population of this here fantastic nation. My name is the Geeter, the big boss with the big hot sauce, and you're on the air, and what a show. We've got the fantastic Four Seasons. We've got Johnny Maestro and the Brooklyn Bridge, but to kick things off, let's go back to the year 1962 with the Contours. And if you know your rock and roll music, you know that Billy Gordon is the cousin to Mr. Jackie Wilson. In 1962, this is one of the first songs that Berry Gordy writes for his own label, the Motown label, and the rest is all musical history. They just take a little pause and then they come back and sing. Top 10 in 1962, and that's what the show's going to be all about tonight on the air with yours truly, the Geeter. Johnny Maestro in the early 60s, he's singing with the Fantastic Quest. When we come back, he's with the Brooklyn Bridge.
From Ronald Phillip. They drive her crazy.
This is the Geeter, Jerry Blavat, and if you're a dancer, guess what? I'd like you to join me on Sunday nights at the place called the Aztec Club, located on Delaware Avenue. And don't forget, on Tuesday night, the hottest spot is Jocelyn's, located in the Barclays Shopping Center. And don't forget, Thursday night, it's Champs, located Harbison and Roosevelt Boulevard. And on Friday nights, everybody goes to Ziggy's at the Airport Marriott on Island Road. And don't you dare forget, if you love oldies, if you love this show, then you're going to love Geeter Gold Radio every day, 1540 on your AM dial.
Hey guys, how would you like to meet the lady of your dreams? She's waiting for you on the Ladies Only line. Call 1-900-680-1100. You'll hear some pretty exciting ladies who want to meet you. There are no guys on the ladies-only line, just a lot of warm, friendly ladies who are waiting to connect with you. Meeting that special person, making that special friend was never easier. So call the ladies-only line and find your lady in waiting at 1-900-680-1100. Just $2.95 a minute, adults over 18 only.
Fall's a great time to make home improvements, and now's a great time to call the Money Store. We have low fixed-rate home equity loans that fit most any budget. And with our FHA Title I loans, there's no equity required. Call the Money Store, 1-800-LOAN-YES. Homeowners, things are heating up at the Money Store. Use one of our low fixed-rate home equity loans to buy a quality-built Weil McLean boiler and get their 5-year protection plan absolutely free. Call the Money Store, 1-800-LOAN-YES.
16 as you rise tonight, blow out the candle, make your wish come true. For I'll be wishing that you love me too. You're only 16, but you're my teenage queen. You're the prettiest, loveliest girl.
Johnny Maestro singing with the Brooklyn Bridge for the first song he makes in 1958, 16 Candles. But now let's go to 1962, the song by the Four Seasons they talk about. Cha-cha-cha, the Guitar Gold dancers are doing a cha-cha-cha. Bob Gaudio, along with Bob Crew, they write it. It's the first time that Bob Crew puts together the sound of the Four Seasons.
Why don't you come on? Come on.
Combination of Bob Gaudio, Frankie Valli, and the great producer by the name of Mr. Bob Crew. It is now my pleasure to let you hear and see on my Guitar Vision, my man, Frankie Valli.
Hey, Guitar with the heater.
Frank, you're looking too good.
Can you see me? Man, what kind of phone is this, man? Where's the camera, man?
It's the Guitar Vision.
Uh-huh. I always said you were way ahead of the times, man.
Franklin, we got to get serious because our audience is out there looking. Tell me, where does it all begin, the association with the Four Seasons?
Well, actually, it all began in Newark, New Jersey.
Right. But before that, you're singing with other groups, right?
Let's see, I was with Billy Dixon and the Topics. I was Billy Dixon.
I remember.
Okay. The Village Voices, Frankie Tyler, the Four Lovers, the Romans.
The Romans. I remember that group. But when do you get hooked up with Bob Gaudio?
I'm not sure. I think it was Pittsburgh, but we were promoting a record, and the Royal Teens were also promoting a new record that they had out at the time. And I met Gaudio on that show.
So you're with one group, and he is with another group, and it's the combination of the groups.
Seriously, that's actually the way we met. And then we met later in New Jersey. You know, we exchanged telephone numbers, and I'll really let you in on something that a lot of people are really not aware of, and that Bob Gaudio, before he and I hooked up, he was working with a local group. This is after his bust up with the short shorts, the Royal Teens, right? He was working with Joe Pesci in the band.
Joe Pesci?
Joe Pesci was playing guitar. Yes.
Rock and roll band?
Oh, yes, he was. Excellent singer, man.
That's amazing, folks. How about that? Joe Pesci, the actor, is working with Gaudio. Frank, so the Four Lovers are no more, and the Royal Teens are no more. But how does it evolve where Gaudio now comes up with the idea with the harmony?
He likes the way I sing. I like the way he writes songs. We make some records. We go in the studio. We cut some sides that we spec. We're taking them around to sell.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now, how does Bob Crew, who produced things with Frank Slay for Freddie Cannon and other groups, how's he get involved now?
We have an appointment with Larry Utah, who had Madison Records at the time, where we're in his outer office. Out of his inner office walks Bob Crew. Bob Crew and I know each other. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Well, we're here. We've made some records. We're going to see if Larry likes them. We're trying to sell them. Listen, here's my telephone number. Let me know what you do. I'd like to hear them. To make a long story short, Utah wasn't really crazy about the records that we've made.
What does Bob Crew then do for you?
He takes us into the studio, we record Sherry, and here we are.
Yeah. Abner Hewitt, who buys the record for VJ, what did he pay you a royalty at that time for the record?
He paid 16 cents a record to Crew.
Frankie, there's no performer in 1962 that is getting that kind of royalty.
Everybody was getting 5 cents and 4 cents and 8 cents, but there certainly were no 16-cent deals.
No. The name The Four Seasons, where does it come from?
That came from an audition in a bowling alley cocktail lounge in New Jersey, in Union, New Jersey. The sound of the name just sounded so terrific. I said, boy, that'd be a great name to use to make some records. The Four Seasons.
The Four Seasons. Well, that's a wonderful name. The harmony, Frank. The harmony was exceptional at that time.
You know, the harmony idea was nothing new. I mean, the harmony was an intricate part of my life very, very early on. I mean, as a little kid, I was listening to groups like the Four Freshmen and the Modernaires and the Hi-Lo's. And in most modern singing, the lead was always on top. And we just thought it'd be a great idea, since everybody who was recording rock and roll was doing it where, you know, the lead was somewhere in the middle and it was surrounded by background. And the high parts were always the top
falsetto
of the harmony. We said, let's do it where the high parts are the melody.
But Frank, the songs, those wonderful songs,
great writers. It has to be. I mean, you know, you think about it. And Cherry, Big Girls Don't Cry, Walk Like a Man. Gordio Crew.
What a big man he'll be. Think of the faces you'll see. Now think what the future would be with a poor boy like me.
Hi, Phil Rizzuto here for the Money Store. What most families want these days is less debt, not more. So why pay 18% on your credit cards? With a home equity loan from the Money Store, you can lock in a low fixed rate, and your interest may be fully tax deductible. Today's rates are among the lowest we've ever offered. So go ahead, pay off those high interest bills with a low fixed rate home equity loan from the Money Store. Call 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
It's two girls and you. Now the ultimate fantasy comes true right on your telephone. Two girls and you. It's what you've always wanted, so call right now. Two girls make you happy. Two girls drive you wild. Two girls are the greatest. Two girls make you dial. Call now. Two girls and you. Just $2.95 a minute. Adults over 18 only.
This year, more than ever before, you'll love Discount Harry's.
Discount Harry's prices were the lowest.
And talk about name brand selection, thousands of bikes and bike accessories, hundreds of dolls, including every Barbie, thousands of cars, trucks, and road race sets, sporting goods and games, and everything at Delaware Valley's lowest prices.
The prices are great at Discount Harry's. That's why I came.
Toy shoppers know Discount Harry's prices are proven cheapest. Discount Harry, Route 130 in Pennsauken, New Jersey.
This is the Geeter, Jerry Blavat, and if you're a dancer, guess what? I'd like you to join me on Sunday nights at the play called the Aztec Club, located on Delaware Avenue. And don't forget, on Tuesday night, the hottest spot is Jocelyn's, located in the Barclays Shopping Center. And don't forget, Thursday night, it's Champs, located Harbison and Roosevelt Boulevard. And on Friday nights, everybody goes to Ziggy's at the Airport Marriott on Island Road. And don't you dare forget, if you love oldies, if you love this show, then you're going to love Geeter Gold Radio every day, 1540 on your AM dial.
Come experience the Aztec Club, a temple of pleasure on Philadelphia's waterfront. Open 7 nights a week. Something different every night. Mondays, Asian hip-hop. Tuesdays, Latin night. Wednesdays, Laugh at the Recession, where one price gives you rock and roll and food and drinks. Thursday, Postmodern with WPST and Mel Toxic Taylor. Friday, live broadcast with Eagle 106's Danny Bonaducci. Saturday, Top 40 Dance Party. And Sundays, oldies and newies and all the goodies with Jerry Blavat. All night for the best dance music from the 50s to the 90s. It's absolutely the Aztec Club, or it's absolutely nothing.
Frankie Valli, the Four Seasons. Frankie, I gotta tell you, that song, Silence is Golden, even though not a hit record, one of my favorite songs.
I mean, Silence is Golden was the B-side of Ragdoll. It should have been a single, you know, and evidently the record company at that time just didn't really believe in it as far as it being a single, but somebody did. The Tremolos came along and heard it and said, hey, this B-side sounds like a single to us. Let's record it. They did it exactly.
It is absolutely fantastic. Now, I'll tell you another song that I think just brought the entire group up another notch. I Got You Under My Skin.
Actually inspired by, by the boss, Sinatra.
When you guys were in Florida, right?
Right, at a music convention again, you know.
Frankie, when are you at your happiest?
As we get older, Jerry, our values seem to blossom more and more. You know, I have a 5-year-old son. I have a great wife, and I'm incredibly happy when I, just knowing that I have them and that they love me and I love them back, and I'm able to go out on the road and do what I do, and they accept it and love me for it. So that's when I'm probably the happiest.
Frank, I love you for being my pal.
And I love you for being Jerry Blavat, my friend. And I know it probably sounds like we're throwing flowers at each other, but it's really true. I mean, through thick and thin, through sleet and rain and snow and milk and mud and all that crap, we have always been friends, and that probably will exist as long as there's a breath in each of us.
Frankie, you're absolutely wonderful. My real buddy, little Frankie Valli. In 1966, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, they make a song that sounds like this.
I can see there ain't no room for me. You're only holding out your heart and sympathy. If there's another man, that girl I understand. Go on and take his hand, and don't you worry about me. I'm blue, and I'm crying too. But girl, you know I only want the best for you. What you is on the pride, all you brothers die. Go on and get it right, and don't you worry about me. I'll be strong, I'll try to carry on. Although you know it won't be easy when you're gone. I'll always think of you, the tender love you do. But somehow I'll be through, so don't you worry about me.
In 1966, it's top 10, and it's written, by the way, not by Karl but by Sandy Linzer and a young man by the name of Danny Rendell. They also write some great things in the 70s for a group called Odyssey, and also for Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels. Compositions that Frankie Valli, Bob Gaudio, and Bob Crew put together? I don't think so. We don't want you to go away, because when we come back, we're going to take you back to 1962. We're going to Brooklyn, and you're going to see and hear the fabulous Eugene Pitt and the Jive Five singing My True Story.
Now anyone can experience their fantasy at the Fantasy Show Bar, South Jersey's entertainment center, where there is something different and entertaining happening every night.
Monday night football party. Just $1 admission includes free food and free drinks. View your favorite football game on 3 big screens. Don't miss the Naughty 90s lingerie show Monday at 9 p.m. Oil wrestling Tuesday and Wednesday starting 9 p.m. On Wednesday, come see our famous amateur bikini contest. Call the Fantasy Show Bar and find out about having your next bachelor, bachelorette, birthday, or office party.
Your fantasy can come true at the Fantasy Show Bar. After all, what is life without fantasy? Come experience yours at the Fantasy Show Bar, Route 168, Manhattan, New Jersey.
Ed Sullivan was television's greatest matchmaker.
And no one's getting that except Mama Gas. Happy birthday, Daddy Sullivan.
Now hear this. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. That you say I'm on my way.
All on the next Ed Sullivan Show, Sunday night at 9 on Philly 57.
The Fatal Flaws of a Royal Family in Ruins. A 2-hour special live from London reveals the never-before-told facts behind the disastrous decline of the world's most famous family. Who will stop the reign of the reckless royals and clear the deck for an explosive confrontation among the royal spies, each with secrets to tell? It's a no-holds-bar look at a dynasty in disgrace. Join me, Robin Leach, for The Royal Family in Crisis.
Tuesday at 8 on Philly 57.
It's two girls and you. Now the ultimate fantasy comes true right on your telephone. Two girls and you. It's what you've always wanted, so call right now. Two girls make you happy. Two girls drive you wild. Two girls are the greatest. Two girls make you dial. Call now. Call now. Two girls and you. Just $2.95 a minute. Adults over 18 only.
Jive 5 out of Brooklyn, and when you talk about soul, rhythm and blues, and street corner harmony, the very best. In the background right now, a young fellow by the name of Edwin Starr. He begins his career the same time that Eugene Pitt begins his career in Brooklyn. But he begins his career singing with a gospel group called the Edwin Hawkins Gospel Singers. And in 1967, he's on his way. In 1968, he's got a hit with a song called 25 Miles. In 68, it comes out. By 69, it's top 10.
I've been walking for 3 days and 2 lonely nights. You know that I'm mighty mad. But I got a woman waiting for me that's gonna make this trip worthwhile. You see, she's got the kind of loving and the kissing I'll make a man go stone wild. So I got to keep on walking. I got to walk on. I'm standing at a front door. I can hear that doggone plane. Now I'll be so glad to see my baby and hold her in my arms one more time. Now when I kiss her lips, I'll turn her back on the flip and I'll forget about these feet of mine. I got to keep on walking. Hey, I got to walk on.
Do you realize that this song is written by a guy by the name of Bobby Fugro? That name sound familiar to you? It should, because in the early part of the 50s, Bobby Fugro was with the fabulous group called the Moonglows. It's also produced by Johnny Bristol, who does some wonderful things in the latter years with the Supremes. You talk about excitement, you talk about cooking and kicking. Guess what? That's exactly what we do on this show each and every day when you hang out with yours truly, the Geeter, the big boss with the big hot sauce. But guess what? As all good things must come to an end, so must this show. Until we do it again, and of course, what can I say? Got to thank Frankie Valli, the fabulous Brooklyn Bridge with Johnny Maestro, and also Mr. Eugene Pitt. Same time, same place, next week. Remember, until then, you keep on rocking, because you're going to find out truly in life you really only rock once. Bye-bye.
On the Air with the Geeter has been brought to you in part by The Money Store.
A star-studded holiday.
The ball wasn't sure where he wanted to go with, released it late, and there you see the interception by Washington.
Happy camper on the sideline is Pete Carroll, the defensive coordinator of the Jets, and at the conclusion of the game, players of both the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets joining in a prayer for the injured Dennis Byrd. This is a game that the Buffalo coaching staff was very worried about because he
rock and roll, we all love rock and roll. Sitting in the Chevy till the sun goes down. Turn up the radio so I can hear the sound. And hanging on my mirror, I got fuzzy dice. My candy apple face, I really look so nice. We whistle at the cruisers, they are walking by. We ate a couple of burgers and an order of fries. We comb my greasy hair with a fine tooth comb. We all love rock and roll. Rock, give me rock and roll. Let me rock and roll. Give me rock and roll. We all love rock and roll. Sitting in my Chevy and the sun goes down. Turn up the radio so I can hear the sound.
This is Nostalgia Television, your entertainment and lifestyle channel for the 90s.
To achieve your ultimate potential, we introduce the Nordic Flex Gold, the breakthrough in strength training technology that makes all other machines obsolete, including SoloFlex. Nordic Flex Gold is 5 ways better than SoloFlex. Nordic Flex Gold simulates the linear motion of free weights, maximizing your workout. In contrast, SoloFlex uses a less effective arcing motion, which can pull your body out of the correct workout position. Nordic Flex Gold has isokinetic resistance to match your natural strength curve. Your body is stronger at certain points of the stroke and weaker at others. The isokinetic resistance of Nordic Flex Gold accommodates these differences, supplying the most resistance when you are strongest and the least when you are weakest. So you get maximum resistance throughout the entire range of motion and maximum results. On a SoloFlex, the resistance simply increases as the rubber band stretches. It does not match your natural strength curve, so your workout is less efficient. Nordic Flex Gold's isokinetic resistance also gives you speed and convenience. You quickly move between exercises without changing steel plates or rubber bands. With Nordic Flex Gold, changeover between exercises is up to 40% faster than SoloFlex. Nordic Flex Gold provides a workout designed by experts. Correct form is laid out in the convenient manual, wall chart, and a full-length workout video. There is no guesswork. And Nordic Flex Gold is a better value. Nordic Flex Gold costs only $999 complete. A SoloFlex costs $1,000, and to get the leg and butterfly attachments costs you an extra $500. Nordic Flex Gold, a better workout, faster and more effective for 1/3 less money. The comparison is clear, the choice is obvious. Call now to order your Nordic Flex Gold, the ultimate strength training machine for the ultimate body.
According to the big tick-tock on the tower clock, correct time for the big boss with the hot sauce. You see, that's me. I am the geeter with the heater, being on the record. I play the single, rock'n, boppin', chip,
Once again, let me say greetings and salutations to the entire population of this here fantastic nation. My name is the Geeter. They do call me the big boss with the big hot sauce, and you're on the air, and what a show. We've got Johnny Mathis. From Philadelphia, we've got the Fabulous Times, and of course, a little bit of Nat King Cole. But to kick things off right now, let me take you with our Geeter Gold Dancers back to the year 1973. A group out of Philadelphia called the Tramps. They've got a big song. The name of it, Hold Back the Night. I present the Geeter Gold Dancers. Do you know that before the Tramps are called the Tramps, they're a big group in Philadelphia under the name of the Volcanoes, and they're produced by Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff. But they changed their name from the Volcanoes and they become the Tramps. This song is way before they make the big hit, Disco Inferno. And of course, you at home, you're seeing the way our young teens, as we call the Beyond Teens, the Gator Gold dancers, do a little bit of the cha-cha. Great show for you. As a matter of fact, we're going to take a little break, and when I come back, you're going to see and hear the legendary Mr. Johnny Mathis.
On the Air with the Gator, brought to you by The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Some home equity lenders tease you with low introductory rates. Not The Money Store. Right now, we're offering qualified homeowners fixed-rate home equity loans as low as 7.5%. That means after 90 days, your low rate would be 7.5%. And after 2 years, just 7.5%. The Money Store guarantees your low fixed rate will never go up. Apply right now. 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
George Jones, country music's living legend. Now, George's story is finally told his way in the authorized home video biography, Same Old Me. Join George and his special guests for a journey through 35 years of classic George Jones music. From the early honky-tonk years to the top of the charts. From superstardom and heartache to the legendary status and personal battles that almost cost him his life. Meet the man behind the music in George Jones' Same Old Me. His story told his way, featuring 20 classic performances. George Jones is the living legend, country music's greatest living singer.
To order by credit card, call 1-800-633-1700 or mail $24.95 plus $4 shipping and handling to George Jones Video, Box 384, Brentwood, Tennessee 37024. Call now, 1-800-633-1700.
Just because my composure slowly slips the moment that your lips meet mine. What chances are you think you're mine?
In 1957, that particular song is the #1 song in the country. It remains on the Billboard charts for 28 weeks. It is now my pleasure to present to you the one, the only, Mr. Johnny Mathis.
Hello.
Hello, John.
Peter.
My man.
Whoa. How nice.
Thanks, John. It's terrific to see you. I got to ask a couple of questions for our audience that are watching right now, John. At the very beginning, before you became a popular singer, you were involved with athletics, and then rumor has it that you originally were taking up opera. Is that so?
Well, I studied opera, yeah, but my pop and my mom were real adamant about the fact that I should learn to sing properly.
So then you didn't sing opera?
No thought of becoming an opera singer. I just wanted to kind of get a hold on it and figure out or try to find out whether I knew what I was doing.
Mm-hmm. How about classical music?
So I studied for about 8-9 years. Studied classical music.
Mm. In the early days growing up in San Francisco, when you were listening to music, your favorite performers, some of your heroes?
Most of my favorite singers were women because their voices were more flexible than the men. Sarah Vaughan, Lena Horne, Ella Fitzgerald, Peggy Lee.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, when my voice started to mature, I decided that, and to this day, I feel that Nat King Cole is the best singer, musician, jazz pianist in the world. He was my hero.
wonderful performer, but tell me about you developing your Johnny Mathis style and sound.
It really, it just evolved. I didn't plan anything. A style of singing, as it is with dancing, is something that is so personal. It's the way you walk, or the way you pick up a fork, or the way you do little things. Of course, nobody does them the same way. And if you get famous doing it, everybody thinks that's great. Say, oh, I'd love to do it like that one.
Your first contract is with Columbia Records. Mitch Miller is the A&R director at that time. He catches you in San Francisco, and he recommends to Columbia that they sign this unknown kid called Johnny Mathis. Why did he do that?
Mitch heard something in my voice that he liked. He didn't like the way I was singing because I didn't know how to sing.
Did he teach you how to sing?
He taught me how to sing a song, and I'm very grateful to him for that.
Other than Mitch, who are the other people in the industry that you feel contributed to the style and the sound that you have today?
But I had a lot of help. I had people like Ray Conniff, Percy Faith, Glenn Osser, and then I started to work with people like Nelson Riddle and Quincy Jones when he was at Mercury Records.
At the very beginning of Quincy's career. Of all of the things that you recorded on Columbia, your favorite?
Well, it's got to be Chances Are.
Well, how about Wonderful, Wonderful?
Wonderful, Wonderful was the first single record, the first popular record that I made. And it was, of course, with Mitch Miller and Ray Conniff.
What was your reaction when you heard it for the first time?
I thought, it'll never sell.
You turn to me with a kiss in your eyes, and my heart feels a thrill beyond compare. Then your lips cling to mine. It's wonderful, wonderful, oh, so wonderful, my love. Sometimes we stand on the top of a hill and we gaze at the earth and the sky. I feel the glow of your unspoken love. There we are, darling, only you and I. What a moment to share. It's wonderful, wonderful, oh, so wonderful, my love. The world is full of wondrous things, it's true, but they wouldn't have much meaning without you. Some quiet evening I sit by your side and we're lost in a world of our own. I feel the glow of your unspoken love. I'm aware of the treasure that I own. And I say to myself, it's wonderful, wonderful, oh, so wonderful, my love. And I say to myself, it's wonderful, wonderful, oh, so wonderful, my love.
On the Air with the Geeter, brought to you by The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Some home equity lenders tease you with low introductory rates. Not The Money Store. Right now, we're offering qualified homeowners fixed-rate home equity loans as low as 7.5%. That means after 90 days, your low rate would be 7.5%. And after 2 years, just 7.5%. The Money Store guarantees your low fixed rate will never go up. Apply right now. 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
The Bellamy Brothers, best of the best. Now available in this exclusive TV offer on deluxe double-link CD or audio cassette. 21 of the best from the duo who scored more hits than any other twosome in country music.
'cause he's an old hippie and he don't know what to do.
Hello, we're the Bellamy Brothers.
And we've digitally re-recorded our 20 greatest hits just for you.
Redneck girl likes to cruise and daddy's pickup truck.
Call now for the Bellamy Brothers, best of the best. Their 21 all-time greatest hits.
Call 1-800-322-5800 or mail $19.95 for CD, $12.95 for cassette, plus $4 shipping and handling to Bellamy Brothers, Box 384, Brentwood, Tennessee 37024.
Featuring the smash hit, Cowboy Beat.
It's not for me to say you love me. It's not for me to say you'll always care. Perhaps the glow of love will grow with every passing day.
Do you realize that that particular song was on the charts for 34 weeks in 1957? We are talking with Johnny Mathis. John, out of all of the songs that you recorded, which one do you think, in your opinion, is the song that the public has come to associate with Mathis and music?
I think the one that they like the most, or that puts them in the romantic mood, is maybe Misty.
Yeah, the old Earl Garner tune.
Old Earl Garner song. And in fact, when I was 13 years old at the Black Hawk in San Francisco, Earl Garner was playing Misty. There were no words to it yet. He hadn't met Johnny Burke, who eventually put the words to it. And I heard that song years and years ago.
You can say that you're leading me on, but it's just what I want you to do. Don't you notice how hopelessly I'm lost? That's why I'm following you. On my own, would I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove? I'm too misty, too much in love.
John, you've had marvelous songs throughout the entire years. The very, very beginning of your career, did you think that these songs that people associate Johnny Mathis with would take you to stardom?
I had no hope for those first few recordings, and after Wonderful, Wonderful came Chances Are, It's Not For Me To Say, and Talk of Never, and a few other things.
John, your contribution, in your words, to this industry.
I sang and didn't make too much of a big deal out of it.
That's terrific. Johnny, thank you for sharing. We'll hook up again, my buddy.
Thank you, Gator.
My buddy, Johnny Mathis. I'll tell you what, would you like to go back with me to the 80s? Now, you're saying the 80s? Yeah, even though this song that you're about to hear sounds like something that could have been produced in the 50s, it really was produced in 1982, but it's by a group that were very big in the latter part of the 50s. I present to you the Gator Gold Dancers, dancing to a song called Morse Code of Love with the Capris.
Oh, I got a neon across the field, and I beg you, please, honey, honey, come back home to me. Baby, I want your love. Baby, I need your love. Honey, honey, come back home to me. Got to have your love. Can't live without your love. Honey, honey, come back home to me. Oh, I made mistakes, yes, that is true, but the biggest one I made with you. Honey, honey, come back home to me. I thought that you would understand. I'm not a one-woman man, not anymore, so